What we're seeing here is really a disgraceful kind of double standard of justice that just gets more blatant every single day. But I've got a way that President Trump can deal with this. All he needs to do is to begin to identify as a Biden.
If Hunter were a Republican, he would have been in jail years ago.
So the right wing is throwing an all-out temper tantrum over the fact that Hunter Biden got some kind of a plea deal with the tax documents case. Because, of course, if he were a Republican, he would have been in jail months ago, because rich white men in this country are, they don't get any type of protection whatsoever. That's not a thing.
What Hunter is not guilty of is being a Republican, but there's a Republican very closely allied with Trump named Roger Stone, who did worse than Hunter Biden. So he tax evaded $2 million, not 1.2 million, $2 million. And guess what happened? He was allowed to pay it back, and he wasn't even criminally charged. Hunter Biden, criminally charged, could face probation. Roger Stone, top guy to Donald Trump, skates free on that.
The idea that Hunter Biden somehow got away with things because he's a Democrat is absolutely ridiculous, because Hunter Biden is the son of Joe Biden, the president of the United States, former vice president of the United States, former senator of the United States. Any type of privilege he got came because he's the son and in a family of rich and powerful people. Democrats, like small D Democrats who aren't rich and powerful, if they get caught with drugs or they get caught doing something miscellaneous, who knows, they're gonna get thrown in prison. And then of course we have the fact that Donald Trump is not in prison. Twice indicted, twice impeached. He ain't in jail for that. Every single scandal that he ever undergoes, he ain't in jail. He gets to just pay off people, with his Trump University scam. Just pay off a quick $25 million, but not in jail. What about the people who caused a 2008 subprime mortgage crash? None of them went to prison, and you better believe that a lot of those people in those executive seats were Republicans. So again, the thing that keeps you out of prison or not typically has to do with, do you have a lot of money and connections, or do you not? It's really not more complicated than that.
In terms of David Weiss, who you say was hand-selected by the Democrats, Donald Trump said he's someone who shares his vision for making America safe again. That is a quote from Donald Trump. That is not a quote
that was put in front of him.
So he's a completely disingenuous
No, because
fool
not everybody
no
selects
control.
all of their prosecutors in all 50 states, Jessica. How do I know that and you don't?
You know a lot of things that I don't know because they're made up, invented in your head. I want Brett Baer to add David Weiss to that incredible list of terrible losers that Donald Trump gave jobs to and then has to turn against. It's ridiculous.
What I'm about to do pretty much encapsulates Jesse Waters' entire career. You know what I'm saying? Tough guy, he's a wise guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically him, Greg Gutfeld, pretty much every very popular male right-wing news commentator. That's basically what they do. I mean, Tucker Carlson, he's a bit more sophisticated than that. But, the notches beneath him, it's just a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically all it is. And why do they do that? Because, like Tarlov said, they just have a bunch of things invented in their minds. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just there to deflect. They're just there to be entertaining. Jesse Waters is the dumb, handsome jock.
Pre-trial diversion is actually the method that the GOP likes best, and they feel that when you go after...
No, as a prosecutor who's been in the trenches for 30 years, don't tell me what the GOP likes. I'm going to tell you what crimes are prosecuted. That is prosecuted. I don't care what people think. Everyday prosecutors across this country do it.
According
the feds don't
to
do
the
local
DOJ
crime.
statistics,
the feds don't do local crime. The DAs do.
No one.
I'm not giving up on that one.
You don't. We'll talk about it in the break because we're getting cut off now. But I'm just telling you, look at the DOJ stats. They do not prosecute for this.
You actually can't get this deal, Jessica, unless you weigh the gun around narcotics. That's the statistic. I'm a Republican. Yeah, I mean, these people are so ridiculous. And look, listen, I suggest that y'all keep an eye on Chris Christie's presidential campaign. Not because I expect him to win or particularly enthrall the Republican voting base, but he's doing an excellent job at prosecuting the Republican Party as a whole because they're just not focused on the issues. They're focused on their guy, Donald Trump. They're focused on whoever it is that they want to cheerlead for at the time. They're focused on being the big man in the room, the big bad bully, the big bad it's like children on a playground. It's literally like recess. And that's why they're losing elections. That's why millennials and Gen Z aren't showing up to the polls to vote for Republicans. Now, the Democratic Party absolutely has problems of its own, but their future is looking a whole lot brighter right now than the GOP's.